Today's video is sponsored by Lowe's. I moved out of my parents' house 10 years ago, and in that time, I've discovered that I did not get my mom's cleaning gene. She didn't pass it to me. She gave it to my brother, and I'm more like whatever my great Aunt Sally is, and that's not exactly a compliment. Sorry, Aunt Sally. So I've had to figure it out on my own through a lot of trial and error, and I think I finally have a grasp of it. But I can't say that too loud in case my mom hears, because she'll laugh at me. So today I'm gonna share all my street smarts with you, what I learned in the hood vent of my kitchen. I don't even have a hood vent. Okay, so here are the 10 things that finally made my home feel manageable after years of feeling out of control. Number 1, label, label, label. When I started labeling things, my home became a heck of a lot easier to manage. Because when you label things, your husband can't be like, "Where's the ketchup? There it is, I labeled it." I'm joking. But what's nice about labels is that it makes it easy for the people in your family to help out. They know where their toys go. They know where their shoes go. They know where to find paper and art supplies. They can get all of these things themselves and put it all away themselves without your help, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's everything I've hoped for, to not be asked to clean. Please leave me alone so I can eat ice cream. And you can get chalkboard labels, which are definitely my favorite, but you can also make your own. I created these ones on Canva, which is super easy. Anyone can do it, okay? Even you can do it. And then I laminated them, which, by the way, if you don't have a laminator, you can use clear tape both sides and cut the edges. It works great. And then I punched a hole at the top and put one of those little plastic fasteners through it. You know, the kind that attaches the tags to your clothes when you first buy them? They're actually really cheap. I think I got like 1,000 of them for only $5. Yeah, and these tags, they last forever. I've had mine for years and they still look just as good as the day I made them. So don't be afraid to label things. It really helps, not just you, but everyone in the family, which in turn helps you. You know what I mean? Okay. The next thing I changed that has dramatically helped to make my home feel more manageable is only buying things that make cleaning easy. Why are you buying corded vacuums or mops that don't spray the cleaner directly from the mop itself, which makes mopping so much faster? Now, this portion of the video is sponsored by Lowe's, but all opinions here are completely my own. Okay, I love all of these products I'm about to show you, so don't go anywhere or you'll miss it, okay? Now let's rewind to a few weeks ago. Oh no, not again. Oh no, how am I gonna get this off? And this vase keeps tipping. Huh? What? Hey, listen, have you heard of Lowe's? Well, of course I have. Everyone knows about Lowe's, but home improvement stuff really isn't my thing, okay? You mean you haven't heard? Lowe's is more than just home improvement. You can find top brand cleaning products, the cutest home decor, and all the home essentials you can imagine. Catch this. Whoa. And Lowe's is so easy to shop from. You can order online at lowes.com or through your mobile app, and then you can pick it up for free at your local store. Oh, but they don't have rugs, do they? Because I really could use a new rug that... Is this a ruggable? It's washable, right? Heck yeah, it is. Straight from Lowe's. But that's not all. Did you know that you can get free shipping on orders over $45 delivered right to your home? That's really cool, but I'm kind of in a hurry and I need a new vase like today. Huh? Hello? No way. Yeah, Lowe's also offers same-day delivery for eligible in-stock items when you place the order online or in the app before 2 p.m. So sturdy. Plus, Lowe's offers a low price guarantee, so you'll find competitive prices every day, whether you shop online, in the store, or through the app. So shop all your home needs using Lowe's new finds by clicking the links in my description box or scanning the QR code right here. Yeah, so everything I just showed you is stuff I actually use to make cleaning easier, which in turn makes it easier for me to actually get my house clean. So please, next time you need a new cleaning product, just make sure to buy the one that's gonna make cleaning as simple as possible. Because nobody likes to clean. One day, when I win the lottery, I'll get one of those self-cleaning litter boxes, and then my cats will finally respect me. The third thing that's made my home feel way more manageable is meal planning. Oh my goodness, what a difference this has made in my home. Before I started doing this, we ate a lot of junk. I mean, peanut butter sandwiches, frozen pizza, frozen meals, boxed mac and cheese. It always felt like there was nothing to eat. And then when I did have inspiration to cook, I was missing half the ingredient. So I'd end up running to the store 3 to 4 times a week, which just made me spend more money and still somehow not buy the right foods that I needed for the week. It was exhausting. And because of it, cooking was a huge stressor for me. Every day, trying to answer the question,
"What's for dinner?"
and feeling like I was letting my family down because we weren't eating vegetables. No, they were rotting in the back of my fridge. And even when I did cook, the leftovers just got thrown out in a few days because no one ate them more than once. But when I started meal planning, I had no clue how much easier it would make everything until it did. I began sitting down every Sunday night, planning out the week's meals, writing up a grocery list, and then every Monday, I would grocery shop. It became my weekly routine. And once I got into that routine, everything ran so much smoother in my home. I stopped having to worry about what to cook each day because it was already planned out for me. My vegetables, they stopped rotting in the back of the fridge because now they were a part of a meal within my meal plan, so I actually cooked them. And my family, they were eating a lot less junk because I wasn't running to the store 3 times a week anymore. It just made my life easier. I mean, yeah, it was annoying to have to do the meal plan on Sundays. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't feel like it, but it freed up so much space in my brain throughout the week. Not having to constantly stress about what was for dinner, that decision was already made, and I could just look at the calendar and know what to do. It may sound totally dramatic, but meal planning honestly changed my life. And if you're interested in trying it out, I do have videos where I show you how I do it, which I will link below in the description because I really do believe it can help you too. Okay, so the next thing that's made my home way more manageable is just being mindful about what I own and what I bring in. So we all like to shop, right? It's fun. Saturday night at a thrift shop, that's my idea of a good time. Count me in. But I have worked so hard to keep my home free of clutter. I've put a lot of hours into it, like literally hours of going through each item and then feeling that twinge of regret when I get rid of something that I spent money on, and I hate that feeling. So now, when I see something that I want at the store, I don't buy it right away. I take a minute and I ask myself 2 honest questions. Number 1, is it worth it to me to spend the next 5 years cleaning, managing, and storing this item? And number 2, is this just gonna end up in a bin in my basement taking up more space? Because when I got a bread maker, I had good intentions that I was gonna be baking bread every single day. But no, I used it 2 times and it's in a bin taking up space in the basement. So ever since I've started asking those questions, I've been able to have more control over my stuff, because when you have less stuff crowding up your home, cleaning it becomes a lot easier and more manageable. Like these margarita glasses. I love buying these solely for ice cream. I like using it to make a giant ice cream sundae filled with all my favorite toppings, and I feel fancy eating it. Oh my goodness, I was just making a joke, but salting the rims for my ice cream
actually pretty delicious. I might keep doing this.
So whenever I see these, I'm tempted to buy more. But I just have to remind myself, Ariel, 17 is enough. You don't need 18. Because then I have to find a way to store 18. And storing 17 has been tricky enough. Okay, anyway, the next thing I've done that has helped to make my home more manageable is finding a solution to my paper clutter problem. Yes, I have a problem. I like to stack my papers higher than my dishes, and I had to do something about it. So I started off by getting a file box, which aren't very expensive. I'll add one to my links below. And this is the spot where all of my important papers go. Things like birth certificates, tax documents. Basically, if it's important and I might actually need it someday, it goes in the file box. Then, down in my kitchen cabinet, I have a basket labeled File Away. This is for all the paperwork that I either need to file away, hence the name of the bin, or for paperwork that I'm not quite sure about yet. Like maybe a receipt for something that I might need to return, or a bill that hasn't been cleared yet. It all goes in here. And then I try to file it away at least once a month so it doesn't get out of control, because trust me, it can very quickly get out of control. And lastly, I have this little bin next to my fridge called the to-do bin. These are things that need to be done right away. You can't let things wait in this bin. It's important. So things I may put in this bin are bills that need to be paid, paperwork that needs to be signed, anything urgent so that nothing slips through the cracks. But you really have to be strict with what you put in here, because it can be tempting to just throw things in here, and then your to-do bin becomes just another place for random paper clutter, and we don't want that. So I made a rule that paper can only go in here if it's something that is dire, especially having this to-do box right out in the open to remind me, do this, do it. Oh, what's that in the box?
Would you look at that? How did that get in there? But you're gonna do it, right? Because it was in the box, so you're gonna do it, right?
All right, the next thing I've changed to make my home feel manageable is changing the house rules. So I love when surfaces are clear. When the surfaces on my home are clear, I feel like things aren't completely out of control. Like, I got this. Yeah, there's toys all over the floor, but have you seen those surfaces? Maybe it's just me, but there's something about it that gives me peace, that makes me feel like the house isn't that bad. Problem is, my surfaces are never clear because I live with people. I'm not gonna say any names, but let's just say they be messy and they love to fill every surface. So my home always looks like this and this. And then I feel like this. So I had to do something about it, because for years, it was driving me insane. Now, of course, there's no perfect solution. You're never going to get your family to completely stop setting things down. I mean, and even if you do, it's not going to last long. I mean, they'll fall back into their old ways. It's human nature. So instead, I made a new rule. Okay, I told my family, listen, I understand that sometimes you don't have a minute to put something away and it ends up on a surface. But from now on, the buffet and the entryway dresser are off limits. I told them, I don't want to see stuff on these two surfaces. Okay, pick another surface, because these are to show off my home decor, and I want it to stay that way. I want people to come over and be like, wow, look at that lamp. I don't want them to be like, look at that Pokemon card. Sure, my son and husband would love that, but I wouldn't. Now, of course, they still clutter up the kitchen table, the dining table, whatever. But here's the thing. I feel better. I have 2 less surfaces to clean, and it just makes everything feel a little less chaotic for me. 2 less things that I have to take care of. And I found that my family does a pretty good job of following this rule. Downside, I haven't seen my kitchen table in weeks. Rest in peace. Kitchen table. The next thing I've done to make my home feel more manageable is I stopped stressing over every little task and started mainly focusing on the stuff that actually makes a difference in my day. We only have so much time in the day, and if you're in a stage of life where it feels like you're never caught up, then you have to be okay with not being caught up and just prioritize the most important jobs. For example, I stopped making my bed. No one sees it but me and Jordan. Why waste my time? I'd rather use that time to sanitize the toilet bowl. Same with jobs like cleaning the baseboards. I don't do that. I'd rather catch up on dishes. And I don't have time to move my bed to dust under it or wipe the top of the fridge. I prefer a clean bathroom. We all desire to have our entire homes clean from top to bottom, but it's unrealistic. You have to pick and choose. And I just started picking the most important things. And hey, if I have time left over, maybe then I could wipe the top of the fridge. But I'm not wiping the top of the fridge if I still have sticky counters and dishes stacked higher than my head. Sometimes we just have to be okay with letting some of those jobs go. If they get bad enough, they will become a priority and you'll have to get it done. But for now, just focus on the jobs that get you through the day first. Clean baseboards are one thing, but a clean bathtub is better. Okay, this next thing on my list, I know I've mentioned it many times before, but I can't not mention it because it's been huge in helping my home feel manageable. Maybe one of the biggest things as a mom of young kids. Okay, so we need to talk about toys. Toys are everywhere, and they are suffocating us as parents. Our living rooms are no longer living rooms, and I was getting tired of it. I really wanted the kids to have their toys, but I also wanted our space to feel like an adult space too. So I changed a couple of things. First, I set up a toy rotation. I have 2 of these 6-cube units, one in the living room and one in the basement, and every month I switch out all the bins. This keeps some of their toys put away, which gives me a little more breathing room in the living room, but it also helps the kids because they forget about the toys that they don't see for a while, and then we bring them out again, and they're excited all over again, like it's a brand new toy. So it's not just helping me, but it keeps things fresh for them too. Because after a while, kids get bored of their toys. So this rotation keeps things exciting. Now, the second thing I do to keep the toys under control is I really pay attention to what they play with and what they don't. And if I notice that a certain toy is being ignored repeatedly, even after rotating them, then I will put the toy in quarantine, which just means it goes in a basket in my basement. Now, if the kids don't ask about the toy for 6 months, then I will go ahead and donate it. Okay, so you might ask, why wouldn't you just ask your kid if they want to donate it? Well, because the answer will always be no. I can't convince my kids to donate anything, even if it's broken into 3 pieces. They want to hold on to everything. So unfortunately, I gotta do it the sneaky way. But I am very careful. I give them a full 6 months to notice. That's a long time. Now, if it's a toy that used to be very special to them, but isn't so much anymore, then I'll put it in quarantine for a full year, just in case. I like to play it safe. But if a year passes and they don't mention it, out it goes. And this has worked beautifully for me for the last 3 to 4 years. And it keeps the toys under control. Because come Christmas and birthdays, between us and their grandmas and their aunts, they get so much stuff. So I have to put a limit on how many toys I allow to sit in our home, or else I'll be buried in them. And that is not the way I want to go. Especially if I'm buried under the toys that sing. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. The next thing I've changed that has made my home flow so much better is not letting idle time pass me by. Yes, we are busy. It seems like every moment of the day is filled with something. I get that. But even though we're busy, we still have these moments throughout the day where there is idle time. Like when we're reheating our coffee in the microwave or waiting for the shower to warm up. When I started taking advantage of these little moments of time within my day, I realized I could get a surprising amount done. I mean, yeah, while waiting for the shower to warm up, maybe all I can manage is a quick wipe of the sink. Or while the coffee's reheating, all I have time for is tidying up the counters. But listen, what if you kept doing these little tasks during all those tiny windows throughout the day? Every little thing you do, it adds up. And before you know it, your home is in pretty decent shape. You can't underestimate the amount you can accomplish when you take advantage of those small idle moments. All right, and the last thing I've done, and maybe the biggest thing that's finally made my home feel manageable, is actually starting and sticking to a cleaning routine. I've tried every routine out there before I decided to create my own, and now I'm sharing it with you. So if your home feels like complete chaos and you're ready for a routine that actually works, click here to check it out so that you can start taking control back from your home instead of letting it control you. Because let's be real, that's exactly what it feels like. Listen, if there's any video of mine you don't want to miss, it's this one, okay? I'll see you there.